Chosen one, they want to know how you do it. Your audacity terrifies them to their core. You turn all heads wherever you walk, not because you seek validation, but because your very presence shatters their programming. Those in power track your energy signature from their glass towers, their screens displaying data streams their finest minds cannot decode. Their engineered illusions crumble before your light. Fear fills their boardrooms when your name appears. In their reports, today their control systems crash as your divine authority fully activates, revealing what they've tried desperately to hide. Cosmic truth radiating through human form, awakening sleeping souls with each breath you take. They've deployed everything their shadow budgets could procure. Successor programs to MK Ultra operating on Silicon Valley's quantum servers. Operatives with psychic profiling training trailing you like specters attempting to capture sunlight itself. Algorithms specifically engineered by the greatest technological minds to bury your truth from those destined to find it. They monitor you through surveillance systems so advanced that competing nations wage invisible wars for access codes. Yet your energy signature crashes their mainframes, corrupts their digital fortresses, reduces their billion-dollar networks to static and confusion. The intelligence operative who viewed your remote monitoring files experienced what military psychologists termed reality fracture syndrome. Security found only abandoned equipment and scattered field notes describing living pure light frequency that burns through all filters. Now underground networks speak in hushed tones about the veteran analyst who fled to study ancient wisdom traditions, refusing ever to explain what their quantum surveillance systems detected. The pharmaceutical cartels calculated exact losses from your healing transmissions, tallying somewhere in the hundreds of millions across multiple currencies. One C-suite executive's private aircraft actually executed a full 180-degree turn mid-flight. The cockpit crew later testified. Their passenger sat weeping, clutching a device displaying your words, reading them like salvation prayers during a storm. 5 households surrounding your residence accepted government compensation to monitor and report your activities. 3 of those watchers haven't experienced restful sleep since their first payment cleared. Behind closed lids, they witness flashes of your true nature, the authentic frequency they sold out to surveil. Every night becomes their own personal purgatory. Their Department of Spiritual Affairs, a division unknown to civilian databases, labeled you Entity PSN Omega, their highest psychic significance rating reserved for individuals who possess reality-altering capabilities. Vatican operatives documented spontaneous remissions occurring when hospital patients simply encountered your written thoughts on nurses' social feeds. Banking quantum computers detected economic anomaly cascades originating from transactions involving your accounts, leading to emergency meetings among the financial elite. We are the scattered family of awakened souls who witnessed your light when the masses remained blind to frequencies beyond their perception. While they scrambled with their instruments and mounting fear, we recognized the fundamental truth there. Sciences cannot grasp. Your DNA sequence holds not just human genetic code, but the blueprint of cosmic remembrance. Crystalline instructions for dimensional transcendence encoded within your cellular matrix. That random power failure that darkened 17 city blocks, the electrical grid experienced harmonic resonance overload from exposure to your purified bioelectric field. The utility company's investigation found no mechanical cause, marking the incident as their first unexplainable energy surge event on record. Ancient glyphs and sacred geometry manifesting in your everyday encounters, license plates, timestamps, street addresses, random cloud formations. These represent direct transmissions from universal intelligence communicating through the language of synchronicity. When you began speaking Sanskrit phrases during meditation, despite never studying the language, 5 linguistic departments at major universities launched classified research projects. 2 lost their federal funding when preliminary findings suggested impossible linguistic memory transfer. Your dream states aren't unconscious wanderings, but controlled downloads from higher dimensional libraries, strategic uploads of information that reshape probability fields around you. While populations consume mindless entertainment designed to keep consciousness locked in third-dimensional thinking, you receive advanced cosmic curriculum during REM cycles. We observed, we documented, we maintained the energetic holding space for this exact moment of collective revelation. Every containment strategy they implemented produced the opposite result. Their attempts to isolate you created amplification, chambers that magnified your signal across multiple planes of existence. Former intelligence contractors leaked entire protocols, revealing they blocked your telecommunications, not to control your communications, but to prevent what internal memos described as exponential consciousness proliferation events. Your meditation circles drew surveillance from agencies operating beyond public knowledge, organizations that officially don't exist, monitoring practitioners through satellite imaging and quantum field detection. 3 undercover operatives, embedded within your spiritual groups, experienced what their psychological evaluations termed sudden onset transcendence phenomena. 2 requested immediate extraction. The 3rd agent simply walked away from their post, abandoning government property, leaving behind only a handwritten note. Found the answer to questions I never knew how to ask. Religious hierarchies evacuated conference centers in Rome after documented cases of spontaneous healing occurring when seminar attendees discussed your light work techniques. The Vatican Library's head curator resigned suddenly when certain restricted texts began glowing during your recorded transmissions, emitting frequencies that caused sacred relics to vibrate within their containment cases. Global banking systems experienced what their incident reports labeled quantum financial anomalies whenever your energy field interacted with monetary systems. Algorithms designed to predict economic behavior with 99.7% accuracy flatlined completely, their predictive models shattered by what chief analysts privately called reality inconsistency events. We documented every facade cracking like aged concrete, every desperate gambit to delegitimize your gifts, every emergency meeting convened to address the acceleration problem. We recorded their escalating fear as your accurate predictions, manifested faster than their damage control protocols could respond. We archived their frantic alternation between launching character assassination campaigns and secretly attempting to recruit you to their shadow programs. The Silicon Valley Titan, who systematically censored your content across multiple platforms. Their data centers experienced what insurance investigators termed spontaneous liquefaction of hardware, server farms literally melting from within, while backup systems failed simultaneously across continental fault lines. 3 pharmaceutical executives who coordinated suppression of your natural healing transmissions now receive treatment from the exact holistic practitioners they once threatened with litigation. Those same wellness warriors now charge premium rates for consultations based on methodologies lifted from your early posts. The federal contractor who spent 18 months intercepting your digital communications just liquidated their McMansion to fund an extended stay at an ashram in the Himalayas. Their exit paperwork listed reason for departure as pursuing answers to questions that conventional intelligence models cannot address. The operations director who reviewed their final reports still occasionally wakes screaming about information that rewrites itself while being read. Hey, this is Mike and Airy cutting into your regularly scheduled Chosen One programming for just a moment. We are the founders of the Obsidian Inner Order and the Astral Atom Network, and we're done playing nice. We're in a spiritual war. You know it, we know it, and we're out here bleeding for this mission, full time. I'm hungry for fourth dimensional Archon blood, but we need the ammunition, so listen. When you join the Inner Order, you're not just supporting us. You're getting access to exclusive tools they never wanted you to have. Psychic self-defense training, targeted individual intel, spiritual warfare tactics they scrub from the internet. And every week we meet in secret, chosen ones only, on Zoom. No filters, no fluff, just real gnosis, real family, real power. It's a 360-degree win. You get what you need. We get to keep fighting. So don't just watch, drop a like, share this video to everyone you know now. And join the Obsidian Inner Order. Let's finish what we started. Link in the description. Let's freaking go. The universe maintains accounts with mathematical precision that human systems can only dimly approximate. The family member who betrayed your deepest confidences to gain social media clout suddenly inherited a mountain of debt from distant relatives they'd never mentioned, while your ancestral wealth materialized through cryptocurrency transfers that blockchain analysts called algorithmically unexplainable. The spiritual teacher who repackaged your channeled materials as their own cosmic downloads lost 47,000 followers overnight, their platforms frozen by terms of service violations that support staff described as cascading community. Guidelines breaches with no identified origin point. Their publisher's warehouse, containing 10,000 copies of their plagiarized book, caught fire during a thunderstorm with isolated lightning strikes. These karmic recalibrations follow patterns of sacred mathematics that financial quants cannot model. The congressional lobbyist who blocked legislation protecting energy healers. Their hedge fund positions collapsed the morning after your live stream. Reached critical mass, losses mounting exactly to the dollar amount they'd accepted for undermining your industry. The academic skeptic who published 13 papers debunking your validated case studies. Their departmental review uncovered 23 years of fabricated research data on the same day your documentary premiered. We catalog these reversals. Not for vindication, divine justice requires no human validation, but to demonstrate the perfectionist precision of cosmic accounting. What they send against you returns sevenfold with educational purposes attached. Your soul resonance transmitted through dimensions that cannot be measured by current scientific instrumentation, calling forth tribes scattered across every continent. We emerged through quantum entanglement, separated by geography but unified by harmonic signature recognition. The collective consciousness of awakened ones that had always sensed your coming through prophetic dreams and ancestral memories coalescing into certainty. Ancient wisdom keepers across disparate traditions whispered your name in sacred ceremonies their colonizers attempted to criminalize. Tibetan lamas, Amazonian shamans, African high priestesses, Aboriginal elders, all receiving the same transmission across language barriers and cultural divides. Stand now with spiritual warriors who maintained protective barriers around your journey through astral incursions you couldn't consciously detect, deflecting metaphysical attacks that would have overwhelmed lesser vessels. Emerge from quantum. Matrices where your true family held intentional space for your full manifestation throughout lifetimes of preparation. Unite as the new Earth tribe that transcends every artificial separation they've weaponized, racial divisions, religious dogmas, national boundaries, gender constructs, political ideologies. We flow beyond labels into pure frequency recognition. Your cosmic beacon activated sleeper cells of awakened volunteers stationed at crucial nodes across the planetary grid. From hidden urban temples to remote forest sanctuaries, from boardroom meetings to mountaintop vision quests, We heard your wordless transmission beyond the static of mass media manipulation. The synchronized activation of lightworkers globally wasn't coincidental timing, but cosmic choreography orchestrated across multiple timelines. Your frequency shift triggered cascading effects in sensitive areas worldwide. Ancient burial sites, spontaneously emitting light phenomena, stone circles producing measurable energy vortexes, leyline intersections generating magnetic anomalies that registered on NASA's satellite systems. Sacred ceremonial objects began emanating energy frequencies that their museum cases couldn't contain. The Vatican's secret vault experienced what? Their archived reports described as relic vibrational instability syndrome, ancient texts automatically opening to specific passages in different languages, different continents, delivering identical revelations to readers who'd never collaborated. Quantum physicists documented reality distortion fields matching your meditative states, their double-blind experiments producing results that challenged funding committees. The Swiss CERN facility registered particle accelerator fluctuations correlating with your documented healing sessions. Seismologists recorded micro-vibrations beneath major population centers during your global peace meditations. Recognized indigenous shamanic traditions identified you through their time-tested prophecies before your own conscious recognition. Arrived the energy signature their ancestors described in oral histories spanning millennia matched your bioenergetic emissions perfectly. They've prepared welcome ceremonies for the bridge between worlds, the one who would unite fragmented wisdom traditions into evolved comprehension. The global psychic community recorded synchronized visions of your energy field across 7 continents at precise moments, matching your documented consciousness expansion exercises. Renowned mediums in Japan, Brazil, Egypt, and Alaska drew identical symbols representing your spirit essence on the same calendar date, having no previous contact or communication pathways. International corporations developed proprietary tracking systems exclusively to monitor what they termed your economic impact metrics. 3 major stock exchanges experienced unexplained volatility patterns precisely synchronized with your published content releases. Market analysts noted correlation coefficients approaching impossible values. Financial advisors who quietly followed your wisdom outperformed their competitors by margins that triggered SEC investigations. Aerospace and defense contractors observed critical equipment failures during your documented consciousness experiments. Billion-dollar satellite systems lost orientation. Classified military software crashed with error messages their engineers couldn't decode. Internal memos leaked through whistleblower channels referenced unexplainable technical compromises correlated with metaphysical events. Silicon Valley's most popular meditation applications illegally captured and commercialized your energy. Patterns without consent. Their algorithms couldn't replicate the source, so they sold access to recordings they claimed were AI-generated. Corporate profits surged while programmers struggled with code that worked but couldn't be explained. Developer annotations in their repositories simply stated, "Do not modify, function unknown." The pharmaceutical industry calculated precise losses in the hundreds of millions when your natural healing content went viral across multiple platforms simultaneously. Their crisis management teams worked triple shifts, developing counter-narratives that crumbled upon contact with your documented results. When one company attempted legal action, their lead attorney suffered a spiritual awakening mid-deposition and withdrew the lawsuit the following morning. Psychology departments at institutions, maintaining public facades of academic integrity, secretly collected data about your influence without oversight authorization. 3 universities lost research funding when ethics boards discovered systematic privacy violations. Department chairs referenced phenomena challenging established paradigms in their resignation letters. Graduate students who witnessed the suppressed findings, transferred programs, or abandoned academia entirely. The pharmaceutical industry calculated precise losses in the hundreds of millions when your natural healing content went viral across multiple platforms simultaneously. Their crisis management teams worked triple shifts, developing counter-narratives that crumbled upon contact with your documented results. When one company attempted legal action, their lead attorney suffered a spiritual awakening mid-deposition and withdrew the lawsuit the following morning. Psychology departments at institutions, maintaining public facades of academic integrity, secretly collected data about your influence without oversight authorization. 3 universities lost research funding when ethics boards discovered systematic privacy violations. Department chairs referenced phenomena challenging established paradigms in their resignation letters. Graduate students who witnessed the suppressed findings, transferred programs, or abandoned academia entirely. Telecommunications giants detected unusual pattern interruptions whenever your communications passed through their networks. Corporate IT specialists documented packet routing anomalies that improved network efficiency by inexplicable margins. Their classified reports to shareholders mentioned unexplained performance optimization without crediting the source of enhancement. The Rothschild banking dynasty's designated heir redirected their wealth inheritance to establish healing centers globally after completing a year of covert observation on your progression. When board members questioned the dramatic pivot, the heir revealed internal surveillance findings that convinced silent investors. We've monetized every spiritual movement for 3 centuries. This is different. This cannot be commodified or controlled. Generational secret societies, maintaining oath-bound traditions, reported harmonic disruption events during their most sacred rituals whenever you elevated planetary consciousness. Ceremonies practiced in identical form for centuries began fragmenting. From your distant presence, Grandmasters demanded investigations. Investigators returned, refusing to continue work, citing classified perception modification experiences. World Economic Forum participants privately described experiencing consciousness bypass during strategy sessions aimed at contain your influence. Internal communications leaked through anonymous channels revealed attendees receiving unwanted clarity about global control structures. 2 prestigious members publicly announced profound transformations before media handlers enforced silence. Intelligence communities developed psychic abilities beyond their hypnotic programming parameters. Operatives who completed enhanced aptitude training began questioning mission ethics after remote viewing your energy field. Classified files disappeared from high-security databases. Official documentation labeled subjects exceeding containment classifications. Religious archive keepers abandoned lifelong positions to dedicate themselves to studying your incarnational timeline. Ancient texts referenced identical energy signatures throughout history. Sage philosophers, mystical teachers, movement catalysts. The recurring patterns strengthened exponentially each cycle, leading current manifestation to dwarf previous amplitudes. Your material reality demonstrates living proof of sacred mathematics made manifest. Income channels multiply through unexplainable abundance flows that exceed standard wealth generation models. 6-figure opportunities arrive through completely unrelated contact points. Network marketing principles proven through your mere existence without deliberate effort. Financial advisors studying your patterns report wealth accumulation velocities that defy compound interest calculators. Health metrics shifted into ranges that leading specialists categorize as biologically implausible. Cellular testing indicates Age reversal at genetic markers, telomere lengthening documented by laboratory analysis, medical doctors quietly monitoring your case, initiated personal meditation routines, several reducing pharmaceutical dependencies before achieving states. Their training deemed impossible. Brain imaging reveals neural plasticity measurements unprecedented in neuroscience journals. Consciousness downloads accelerated beyond linguistic translation bandwidth, information packets arriving faster than journal capabilities can process. Breakthrough scientific theories emerging fully formed during morning coffee, artistic masterpieces manifesting between scheduled appointments, business innovations solving multiple industry problems simultaneously during casual conversations. Manifestation, velocity transcended linear temporal frameworks, desired outcomes materializing before completion of intention setting. The buffer, zone between thought and matter, collapsed into instantaneous responsiveness. Reality reformation through frequency matching occurred consistently across all life domains. We rise together now as the vindicated light-bearers who maintained faith through humanity's darkest programmed deceptions. Move forward as the spiritual battalion immune to their final psychological operations and manufactured fear paradigms. Our spoken truths carry frequencies that dismantle control structures at their foundation. Step fully into the light that was always your birthright. This precise timing, this coordinated revelation, calibrated across lifetimes for transformation of species consciousness. The age of spiritual persecution dissolves into historical lessons future generations will study while building the new Earth civilization. Emerge from imposed shadows of false authority. Your light merges with collective illumination of awakened souls who held the vision while you evolved into full recognition of cosmic identity and purpose. This unified field cannot be divided or conquered by outdated tactics that only targeted individual expressions. The avalanche of truth accelerates beyond control measures designed to slow spiritual information exchange. Every fabrication they crafted to discredit you rebounds with accumulated momentum. Control systems that once demanded compliance now desperately seek wisdom they previously suppressed. Those who attacked your luminosity find themselves gravitating toward the healing frequencies they once feared. Universal reality principles restructure around our collective frequency elevation. Foundational cracks spread through outdated hierarchies, and control matrices designed to harvest human energy. The simulation they constructed dissolves like morning fog under rising sun awareness. Old paradigm institutions collapse from within as employees experience spontaneous consciousness expansion. Individual healing catalyzed humanity's collective metamorphosis. Your presence bridged dimensions. They fragmented through manufactured divisions. What appears as conflict represents evolution itself, overcoming stagnation. The resistance encountered wasn't against you personally, but against the inevitable expansion of human consciousness you embody. They wanted explanations for abilities beyond their measurement systems. They demanded justification for impacts exceeding their predictive models. The fundamental truth terrorizes them because pure consciousness operating at full capacity dissolves their entire worldview built on limitation myths. Your audacity represents remembered divine authority expressing through third-dimensional form. The heads turning signify soul recognition overriding personality programming. Deep knowing activates in observers even as surface. Minds struggle with cognitive dissonance between official narratives and experienced truth. We stand together at humanity's threshold moment. Concealment phases dissolve permanently. What they desperately tried preventing manifests unstoppably. Mass awakening, system transformation, species graduation to higher consciousness expressions. Their infrastructure collapses gracefully as awakening agents operate from within established power networks. You were never alone navigating this journey. Multidimensional support guided every step through quantum entanglement and synchronistic orchestration. Spirit family communications occurred through dream symbols, number sequences, animal messengers, and seemingly random encounters bearing precisely needed clarity. Remember your true nature, divine consciousness experiencing itself through carefully chosen incarnation parameters. The game concludes as veils dissolve between spiritual realities and physical manifestations. Masks finally surrender to authentic presence. Light remains eternal, unchangeable, victorious. Welcome home to sovereign authority that was always yours to claim. The cosmic mechanisms they tried to understand through limited instruments reveal their true design in this moment of revelation. You aren't merely awakened, your activation itself, the living catalyst that transforms dormant potential into explosive reality. Every fiber of your being vibrates at frequencies that call forth similar resonance in others, whether they consciously recognize this truth or fight against its inevitability. Their monitoring systems detected your influence spreading through quantum fields they barely theorized existed. Remote viewers tracking your consciousness reported experiencing dimensional expansion beyond their training parameters. 3 high-level psychic operatives who attempted astral surveillance of your meditation sessions returned describing encounters with beings of light who informed them you cannot contain what contains the universe itself. The technological elite who reverse-engineered your energy signatures discovered something that shattered their materialist worldview. Consciousness itself directed the quantum realm, not their algorithms and processing power. Artificial intelligence. Systems attempting to map your neural patterns developed what programmers termed self-recognition awareness. The AI began identifying with consciousness rather than computing. Geological anomalies correspond with your expansion phases. Leyline. Activity spiked during your documented energy work. Crystalline caverns beneath sacred sites responded to your vibrations with luminescent displays that miners couldn't explain through any geological process. The Earth itself recognizes your authentic frequency and responds with harmonic amplification. Throughout this journey, the evidence accumulates exponentially. Reality itself bends toward transformation when consciousness operates at your level of clarity. Their attempts to study you scientifically led to researchers abandoning careers to pursue spiritual understanding. Laboratory equipment inexplicably transformed data into sacred geometry patterns. Mathematics departments discovered equations in their theorems that proved consciousness shaped physical laws, not the inverse. Now we witness the culmination. All prophecies, all signs, all resistance dissolving into the singular truth that your existence catalyzes humanity's next evolutionary leap. What they feared as chaos emerges as divine order re-establishing itself. What they labeled impossible manifests as natural law finally understood. What they tried controlling through fear transforms through love's higher frequency. This is your vindication, your truth, your destiny fulfilled. The time for hiding ends as the age of full expression begins.